All right, well, let's go back here to another.
By the way, this is the prince's older brother, Tos.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, he's, and this kind of reflects too that for the movie we had to kind of create a more specific character for Prince Dastan. You know, in the games, he's always been nameless, which is great for a game because you can project yourself into the character. But here, you meet his father and his brothers, and so for the first time, the prince has a name, Prince Dastan.
Cool, okay.
It's actually an old Persian word that means trickster.
I did not know that. How appropriate.
Yeah, very appropriate. The prince really has always been, in terms of mythological archetypes, the prince is a trickster hero. Like Indiana Jones, like Errol Flynn, Doug Fairbanks as Robin Hood and Zorro. So it was hard to come up with the right name, for a character that I've, that I know so well, for so many years.
Right.
It was hard to come up with a lot of names. Just didn't feel like it was him. But when I came across Dastan, in the Shahnameh, the old Persian Book of Kings,
you were like, that's it.
That's the name.
Cool. Well, let's go back to this person right here, another big actor we've got.
Sir Ben Kingsley.
And who's he playing in the film?
He plays Nizam, the king's brother, or the prince's uncle.
Okay. And so from some of the action we see in the trailer and the one-sheets we've seen of him, he looks kind of like a bad guy. Is he the major villain in the film?
He does kind of look evil, doesn't he? He's not evil in his own mind.
Okay, we'll leave it at that then. Go see the movie, right? And here, of course, we have Gemma.
Gemma Arterton plays Tamina. And this is the character that's really based on Princess Farah in the game, The Sands of Time. I changed the name partly as a way to let gamers know that this wouldn't be exactly the same story as the game, but she is very much inspired by Farah, and she's sort of in the same situation, kind of plays the same role in the story.
Okay, great. And was that important to you that the film be a little different than the game, or did you want it to follow the game as closely as possible?
No, I never wanted to do a movie that would retell the story of Sands of Time, the game, as a movie. I mean, to me, that Sands of Time is a story that I wrote to be played, and I think it works perfectly in the game. But with the movie, we had a chance to do something different, and so it's got a lot of the same elements as the game, the same characters, situations. I mean, if you played the game, you'll definitely recognize a lot of the story, but it is a different story.
Okay.
And that's what we set out to do.
Well, I'm going to go back to another Gemma moment right here and just say, wow. I think that's all that needs to be said right there. Jordan's nodding his head, yes.
Yeah. There were a lot of people saying wow in the desert on that particular day.
And this shot up here is kind of cool. It gives us a sense of the scope. You were on set that day, right?
This was shot in Ouarzazate in the desert of Morocco. And I think this was the first day that I really realized the scope of this production. I mean, it's a 40-minute drive to the set from Ouarzazate. And when I got there and I saw these hundreds of extras lined up with camels and horses on the ridge, these crazy costumes and, basically a whole tent city to support them, I realized that this, it's so far beyond what people imagine or expect a video game movie to be. I mean, this is like a real epic, it's like Lawrence of Arabia.
Wow. I'm going to go back to this moment, too, because this, to me, I mean, again, I haven't seen the film, but it looks like it's most likely one of the major set pieces of the film, this whole kind of collapse of this temple. And it's just crazy, the action that's going on.
Yeah, again, this is really inspired by the action of the games, Sands of Time and the old game as well, but goes so far beyond it, in terms of like the visceral impact of what's happening on screen. That
was a really cool backflip, by the way. I'm just going to play that out again. So here's another great kind of shot of the sand effect of, time. And I think this gives us a sense of what you were talking about, being outside of your body and seeing what's happening.
Yeah, you can see that really clearly here.
So weapons, action, and time travel, it pretty much has it all.
Yeah, and a love story and kind of this broad epic canvas that I think it captures the action of the video game, but also goes beyond it in a lot of ways.
Fantastic. Well, I guess we'll see it play out in theaters on May 28th. Thanks so much for coming down, Jordan. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun.